Good morning. This is Penny and Tasha of Penny's Two Cents. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Either way, it doesn't matter. We're here. And it's been our pleasure to
Yes,
be
it
doing
has.
this, right?
Yes.
So we've been talking about all kinds of different things. One of the first things we talked about was interviewing for the employee, interviewing for the employer, and today we're going to talk about employees getting along together, new employees specifically.
Yes, when you're the new guy on the block.
Yes, because when you walk into that warehouse, office, you are the first person in, possibly, but you have got to kind of assess the situation and you are going to set the tone for yourself.
Yes, and we're talking about employees. I mean, I know that a new boss can be an employee too, but we're going to try to focus on just the underdogs. I know.
Well, when the first employee comes in, when you're new to any situation, whether there's 5 people or 50 people, it really doesn't matter. There's usually kind of a strata. And, there's certain people that are, for lack of a better description, are the alphas in the office. There's usually one alpha. And you've got to pretty much identify the dynamics within the office just so you are comfortable fitting in. And it doesn't mean that's going to stay like that forever.
No.
But your first day is pretty critical. What have you experienced or heard, Tasha, about people's first days? Any bad experiences?
Well, lots of bad experiences, but you go in, you don't know. First of all, you don't really know what you're going to be doing. You might have some more onboarding to do, or you might have some more HR paperwork to fill out, or something that's going on that you need to get done. Plus, acclimating yourself to your work environment. Where are you going to be? Your station. What are you going to be doing? What's your computer? What does it look like? What is it? Where's the bathroom? I mean, just all the little things that go on when you get into the job. How many breaks do you get?
Yeah.
When is lunch?
Yeah.
Who goes to lunch?
Oh, wait. Oh. It's just so difficult when you're new in the office and lunchtime is rolling around. It kind of feels like the first day of school.
Yes, it does.
Because you don't know. I mean, where I worked, it was very, very, very cool. The owners of the office, every single employee that started their very first day, they took them to lunch. Always took them to lunch.
That's nice.
Which I thought was great. But subsequent days, if people don't want to go to lunch with you, or you don't want to go with them, I mean, that's a fine line.
Yeah.
People that you work with ask you to go to lunch, and you're like, no, thank you, and you leave. Oh my goodness, that's a tough one.
Now, when I started, I think I went to lunch with everybody. The first day, one group person asked me out to eat, and I'd go out with them, and then maybe the next day somebody else did. Or something. Then you discover that each of these are different groups of people.
Yes.
It's like then you've got the kind of just like in high school, you've got the cheerleaders, you've got the football players, you've got the nerds.
True and true.
You've got the ones that no one wants to be around.
So many
And so,
dynamics.
you don't, and then you're going, I don't know where I want to fit. And the good part about it is that you can determine that first day or that first week who you want to identify with.
Yeah, and I think it's important to just say out loud that it's very, very difficult to work in a place where you don't like the people you're working with.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, that is something you've got to really identify too. If you are there and it's been 1 week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you basically come home every night and you're like, I just don't like it there. You're doing a great job, your boss thinks you're doing a great job, but you just don't like it there, you really have to think about that. And conversely, if you love it there, that's great. That's great. So it's going to be, and there's middle of the road too, but there's so many different dynamics when you go into a new location or a new business because there's set patterns already.
Yes.
And you've got to kind of find your way. And like I said, there's some people that don't care about the office at all. They're on their own all the time. And when that happens, the group of people you're working with, they could help push you out if they don't care what
Yeah.
you're doing.
I think when you don't like where you're working, and especially if it's a new job, then you want to find out why you don't. You really need to do an inventory. Why don't I like this job? What is it about this job I don't like? Is it the job itself? Is it the people? Is it that my team members? Who is it that I don't get along with? And when you determine that, that helps you determine whether you should stay or go. Most times, it's not a stay or go situation. It's just you're making wrong choices.
How
I
so?
might be-
What do you
well,
mean?
you know,
What do
like
mean?
maybe I'm with the wrong group. You know, I've decided to go with the alphas because they seem to be strong and in control, and I'm more of a laid back person, but I just don't want to offend anybody. Well, back out. Just be ready to be offended because you're going to find yourself more enjoying the work better. If you're hanging out with the people that don't like their jobs, then you won't like going to work because you don't like being around that negativity.
You know what? That is so key. I have experienced, and probably everybody that's listening to this has experienced that negative situation in the workplace where there's a person or a couple of people bad rapping people all through. Saying such negative things about people, and you're thinking to yourself, well, why are you still working here? But they like that. That's what they do, and they just poison everybody. It's very, very difficult. I've been in those situations. Now, sometimes those people just don't last. But sometimes the boss or the owner doesn't even understand it, know it,
No.
recognize it,
Yeah.
and they keep losing people. And this person is saying, well, I don't know why you must be hiring wrong because I don't know why they're leaving. So this just brings us to another point. If you are the boss or you are the owner and you see there's high turnover going on within your company,
Look at
you
the
need
dynamics.
to find out what's going on. Because my experience is bosses or owners can be very far removed from what's happening here,
Yes.
and this middle manager could be a problem.
Yes.
So it is very critical if there are any bosses or owners listening to this, you need to assess what's going on and really understand why people are leaving. Exit interviews. Very, very important. You know, why is somebody leaving? And if you don't want to do an exit interview, maybe a phone call to say, you know, we really enjoyed having you, but, you know, what happened? Why did you want to leave one-on-one?
And not just the exit interview, this is on employers again, but when you do an exit interview, if you do an exit interview, make it a point to really want to find out how to change the situation, not just, well, that's their loss, they left, and
Yes.
I did my job, check, I did an exit interview, they're gone.
Oh my
And-
God, that happens so often where, nobody likes to admit that they made that the hire didn't stay because of situations going on, and they're like, well, they just left. We didn't need them anyhow. They really weren't that good. If there's a lot of turnover going on, you just really need to assess.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, this is a really hotter topic than I thought it was going to be. I really thought, get along with others coming new, no biggie, but
It's
maybe we'll
huge.
attack some of this stuff next time.
well, next time, because next time we're really going to kind of drill down as to good bosses, bad bosses, because what do we say? People don't leave companies, they leave.
People.
That's right. They leave people, they leave bosses.
And leave
So
bosses.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Pennies 2 cents. Out.